Ile group ilionekana ni kama ndio leaders kwa hao vijana, unapata walianza kuchukuliwa mmoja mmoja. Marara Kabaso, Kasmuel, nani wakaanza kuchukuliwa, wanavutwa polepole. They've gone there singing this, kuna vile wataanza kusing song ile hao wazee wanaimba, because they are being integrated in the system which has not worked for many years. So zile ideas walikuwa nazo zinakuwa diluted. So even them, they need to go back on their seats and rethink. Am I really doing what I'm supposed to do? Have I really gone where I'm supposed? Am I within the mindset ile nilitaka iwe?
Lakini acha nikuuliza King David. Ukipewa unataka leadership, right?
I don't want leadership.
Not okay. If you wanted power or you wanted change. So,
yeah.
If you wanted change, like economical change in your life, ideological change in your life. Na hawa watu wako kwa power wamekuita. Wamekwambia look, unatakaje?
Nataka milioni 5.
Nataka milioni 10. Nianze biashara yangu, nataka kazi. Nakwambia milioni 10 will give you 50 million. Will give you a good house, a good job. Why am I still fighting?
That shows
because this is a capitalist.
Ngoja. Yeah. What shows is you lack principles. You didn't know even why you started in the first place. You didn't ask yourself, why am I starting this? The why is bigger, because if your why was for money, then you had no direction. Ulipata a small knowledge, ukaona unaweza itumia na uweze kusucceed, ufike mahali ulitaka kwenda, upewe shilingi milioni 50 na ukae kando. Kama ni pesa ingekuwa inanunua watu, King David singekuwa hapa niko leo. Because if it is money, my brother, mimi nishaletoa pesa na nikakataa.
King David hutaki pesa.
I want money, but I want money which I'm truly responsible and I can account for it. I don't want money inatoka from the skies, uniwekea hapa milioni 10, uniambie King David, now join my team, we move. It happened before. I refused. Na iko pesa kidogo, nikisema kwa watu wengi watashtuka, waseme ati it was big money I was being offered. $500,000. If you're given $500,000 today, what can you do with it?
Change a lot.
That was in the 90s.
Change a lot of things.
No. Lakini me, I knew this was buying my principles. It was not taking me to the right direction, because I'll sell my soul out. What impact will it have? Me, I'm not looking at a temporary solution for myself. I was looking for a solution to start bunge la wananchi, hizo programs, hizo unapata ati civic education program. It was purposely to empower people with knowledge, ili we can create a long-term effect, 100 years program for this country and continent as a whole. Si ati ni benefit for me, nipate 50 million sahi, ni enjoy, alafu naachia watoto wangu shida. Because whatever you betray a people, their cry will eat. Ndio unasikiaga the curse will itakula 3 generations. Unaipata? Ndio check any politician amepewa pesa, alafu akaja akatoka, akaja akafa. What happens to the family?
Zingine ziko sawa. Kwa inange family wa matajiri bado, Kenyatta family ni matajiri bado.
But calm down in the families, there is always scramble. Kutakuwa na silent war among themselves, lakini kuna wale watai withhold, waseme hatutaki ionekane in public. Na bado huwa inaumiza. Right now kuna kitu inakuwa constructed, because kumekuwa ni kama kingdom imejitengeza ambayo inataka continuity ya leadership. Our leaders wamekuwa inakuwa mtoto wewe mzee ukija kutoka mtoto wangu achukue. That's what Moi was told with Kenyatta. Alipombak watu hawakukubali, but later walimpatia kiti. Right? So hiyo class imecreate ni kama fence, hawataki kitu yote itoke grassroots. Na ndio kupeana example ya Lula da Silva in Brazil. Can the people back someone? Vile Brazil walikuja wakabaka Xuxa na Lula da Silva mpaka akachukua uongozi na akachange Brazil within 10 years yake ya rule.
Yes.
You know, unless we do that, bado tunaangalia kwa hiyo kwa hao maafisi wako hapo juu, business partners. It will be a dream far-fetched.
Lakini wanasema ndio kitu kama hiyo, revolution kama hiyo is succeed, lazima ikuwe backed up na military.
Okay, imefika mahali military in Africa wamekuja wakapata wanatumika kama tissue. Even the police, it has reached a point they are tired. Let me tell you, someone gets tired. You have relatives. Ingawaje last time I tried to touch in nikisema kuwa kuna when we were changing the constitution, atuku change the police act. Atuku change the penal code. Because the police act ndio ina create behavioral pattern ya police officer, anatrainiwa na inakuwa integrated within him mpaka anaweza ambiwa nenda chukua mama yako, leta piga risasi, maswali baadaye. Is that a real human being? Wewe ni mtu bado ana utu yake? Si mtu ana utu, ni mtu tayari ametrainiwa kama bulldog ya kwenda kuattack.
Anasema anatolewa uraia.
So anatolewa ile utu, si uraia. Anatolewa utu yake, anaplantiwa kitu kingine ambayo ni unnatural. It is not him. Ndio akienda hiyo training anakuwa kitu kingine different kabisa. Hata ndugu yako utapata anakuwa kitu kingine, anakuambia mimi naweza kupiga risasi. Ashtuki. Why? Because ametolewa ile utu. The inner consciousness, the self realization, the subconscious mind imekuwa nini kabisa, mpaka anaangalia the face value, angalia ndani. Nikifanya hii, what are the ripple effects on me? Ndio unaona Baraza juzi alikuwa kotini, alikuwa analia peke yake sababu amejikuta yuko peke yake. Alikuwa anatumia ile have power, but at last he's on his own. When he starts soul searching himself, anajiuliza, did I do right? What did I do for that family? Is that cry? The inner self, don't look, the outer self will always be fancy. Inataka vitu zile haziko, ndio inafanya unachukua hiyo pesa. Ile greed, you want to show off. I'm now excelled, I'm now driving, I'm not. No. Hiyo ndio vitu, greed and nini imesurpass human values. Watu wamekuwa so greedy mpaka ile human values, to see another human being is sitting next to me. Alafu distraction nyingine imekuja gani? Look at the phone. A family can go out for dinner, kila mtu yeye ana simu. Everyone will be busy on the phone and they won't have a discussion as a family. Even in the house. Na itafika mwishoni mnaenda mnalala. So, how do we bring our minds together? How do we come? Na ndio niliambiwa ati concentration ya Gen Z is only 3 minutes. Outside that wame divert. Why? Because they are so much obsessed with technology.
And they've been created short reels, 30 seconds.
Yeah, short reels, 30-second reels. Really. So, focus-wise, inakuja they lose focus. And that is why the destruction in education, generation from generation ina lose. Lakini kuna generation inakuja. Munaita aje?
Alpha.
Hey. Baba Alpha, you don't take care? Those are kings. There are people who reclaim, they want their past, they want to know where, what is happening. Hawa watu wote wako confused mbele yetu.
It's true, because even the Alpha generation,
they are curious than anything else.
and they don't want the city life.
Hawataki.
That's something you have to notice. Most of
They
them
don't want the city life. Unapata ule mtoto anataka kurudi kwa nature. They want to go back to nature. How will you stop these kids from going back to nature? Guide them towards that. Guide them, show them. Ndio mpaka imefika mahali wazungu wazao wameanza kusema ukweli. Wanasema no, Africa had the genius. Tulianza kufanya operation hata kabla, when the white was still living in caves, dens and holes, feeding on their own flesh, kula wenzao wakiuana wenyewe kwa wenyewe. The black man was already civilized. We had institutions, we had hospitals. Tulikuwa tunafanya operation hata ya roho. Tumbo, mtu akikatwa tumbo by mistake, matumbo ikimwagika, ngozi ya matawi ya ndizi ilikuwa inatumika, because ile nini ya tumbo na matawi ya ndizi unapata ikija ikishikilia mara ya mtu imemwagika, hawezi pata bakteria toka nje. Haina bakteria. Hiyo ina vitu zile inashika na ikirudishwa iko sawa. But today tunaenda hospitalini, unapata ule mtu amefundishwa tu kupeana dawa, hajui ni nini. Imekuwa watu wanafanya experiment hata hospitalini.
So civilization ikarudi huko.
No, tulienda kwa development. We eloped with the devil, ndio devil elope. Development. They turned the world upside down.
What do you say?
We accepted the devil in our vicinity. Na tukapewa kitu inaitwa devil development. Na ndio unaona tulikuwa tunaongea about education. Education inakuja, unapata, what are you given when you graduate? A degree. What is a degree? Degree ukija kwa Merriam-Webster Etymology Dictionary, origin of language and words. Degree inatoka kwa degrade. When you're degraded, umekuwa degraded, umekuwa dehumanized, removed from a superior position to an inferior position. So the state we are in today, we are in an inferior position, baada tumetolewa in a superior position, because when we are attached to the 4 elements of life, which is air, water, earth and fire, na uji hata unatembea miguu tupu kwa mchanga, ukisikia ile Mwafrika alikuwa anatoka kilima shamba, mwili yake iko balanced na iko connected with nature, aligned. Hapo ndio walitutoa.
Hiyo ni uchawi kimbele. Hiyo vitu tunasema
si uchawi.
Nature ni uchawi.
Si uchawi.
So atunga accept development.
Let me tell you. Na ndio wazee wakasema, nendeni mkasome vitu hao watu wanakuja nazo, muzielewe, na mkija pande nyingine mtatoa ile mzuri, mtatumia ile mbaya mtatupa. Being aligned with yourself. Did you ever hear an African going to colonize any other continent?
No.
Why? Because he had peace within himself. Alikuwa aligned with his life. He was comfortable wherever he had. Na kila mtu alikuwa na roles za kufanya. Na kila generation, kila rika ilikuwa na duties zake za kufanya. So hakukuwa na idleness. Hii mambo watoto wanakuja wanafika class 8, asipoenda form 1 anabaki amebakia mtaani na hatajafuatwa ajue afanye nini. Haikukuwa, my friend, because our education ilikuwa oral na kupass generation after generation, ambao haikukuwa uchawi, ilikuwa ni kuconnect with your real self. Na ndio unaona shuleni tulipokuwa tunaenda, mara ya kwanza mtu ufika anapiga nduru analia, the next thing unakuja unalani viboko, kupigwa wao. You have to stop thinking the way you're thinking. You have to change your mindset. Unapigwa. Mimi nakumbuka nikipigwa katikati ya kichwa, nikauliza why napigwa kwa nini jamani? Mpaka unakuja naambiwa don't speak that language. The language here is English. If not, unapewa monto ama kitu inaitwa disc. What is a monto? What is a monto? Yaani unakuja ufanye ukue mono. Ile style hata communication yako ni mono. Haiko na expanded, haina focus. Wewe uko tu mono. Ukiambiwa job iko pale singular thinking.
Na tukienda kwa nini kitu ya resources moja tu. Education ndio tunataka kugusia education but tuende kwa resources. The main generation yenye iko na shida hapa ni Gen Z. All generations uko na shida, but the biggest challenge is Gen Z. They are leaving school and they have nowhere to be absorbed to, according to them. Because that's why I differ with them maybe. Because for them, the solution has to come from the government. The government has to make systems that work. Mimi, I am actually a person who don't believe in governments. Mimi ungeniuliza ningesema we should never have governments. Because we had self-governing systems that were working. It was just you decide the area you are leading yourself, and you would go to the land without being told by the chief or the likuru to go and farm. You'd go get your cows, naenda ku. So our total Gen Z, if there's something, I don't want to call them our total because they're adults. That's the mistake we make. We treat them like kids and then treat them badly.
No, they're not kids.
We treat them badly because we call them kids. They are adults who are curious. So mimi naona kama mimi na wewe tungekaa chini na watu wengine 20 ama 10, we don't even need to be 100 people. Don't you think tunaweza share some of the main resources zenye ziko available hapa Kenya, zenye mwananchi wa kawaida anaweza pata na zenye zinaweza empower Gen Z, ndio asishinde akifuata serikali ati sijui Ruto create jobs. Don't you think we can do that?
Let me tell you, I can say I'm an industrialist.
I know.
And at the same time, we can build, we have so much. Me, I walk around, I move around this country, I see wealth all over. Me, I see wealth all over when I move.
So why are people looking for
But
jobs?
what is there? The government has to create a conducive situation to make these people integrate within these systems already. Wakitoka shule, ametrainiwa towards, anajua this is what I can do. If it is technology, unajua this is my line, I can do this. Government zetu atuthink wenyewe. Who thinks on our behalf? Na ndio niliwaambia, the system of education is controlled through Harvard and Oxford universities. The stock market is controlled through London and in the New York stock markets. We don't control our own stock market. Why? They are the ones who decide, because the minute we start controlling our own stock market, it will mean that our economy, we are equalizing, we are bringing a balance in the world. And that's what the so-called first world are fearing right now, because already Traore has done it. By smelting gold, na akeka gold bars within Burkina Faso, they can negotiate with a bar of gold with anybody who comes in their country. Why? Because they have that. The balance shift is being created. And the minute it is properly created within Africa, actually it will shift. Because me, I've seen it in my dream. Europeans coming to Africa to seek work. I've seen them crying and begging, wanataka tuandike kazi, watufanyie makazi. Why? Because all the riches are in Africa, all the mineral resources are in Africa, whatever they need is in Africa. So tukiandika wafanye kazi, kutakuwa na makosa gani? But we have to now, lazima tuwarudishe tena reconstruction, wakuwe wa think kama binadamu, si kama animals. Because those people, they hate themselves. All these crises is because they don't love themselves. They hate their color. All these things zinafanyika sasa is because of color. Because of their inadequacies test to produce color, the whites had to create a superficial myth of superiority. Na ndio nawaambia waka create a system yao ambao ni economics, entertainment, labor, law, religion, politics, education, sex and war. What was the first thing they used? They used the church. Look at the cross. The cross is a symbol. Is a male symbol. It has two balls. Alafu mtu akakuwa crucified hapo tu akasema bas kameisha. Take the gun. Is a phallic symbol, because they are not able to produce a child with color. So they created a superficial myth. Now waka create a gun ambayo ina representation ina two balls, alafu ina release sperm which is a bullet. Ambapo when they release this, they instill you fear and you will never rise again kujitetea. Mseme this is wrong. And that is what the state wants to do now. By instilling fear through using the same gun, the phallic symbol ambayo mzungu alitumia to instill fear to Gen Zs. They need to rethink their strategy. They need to come on the table and ask themselves, are we doing the right thing? Because can you kill the whole of Kenya, if I may ask?
You can't, but once you scare people, they'll not come to the street.
But what will happen? The rage which is building inside, it will be worse. You will not be able to meet it. Because it is a rage, ile iko contained. Chukua paka fungia kwa nyumba. Yeah? Chukua paka fungia kwa nyumba, imekula nyama kwa safuria. Alafu ile paka anza kuichapa viboko. Itakuwa contained, iendelee kujificha. Ita fight back. Na ile paka itakung'oa macho na itakuacha dead. Juu saa itatoa nini yake yote, itajua hapa ni life and death. I have to fight back. So that is what the state is doing, unknowingly or knowingly. Because what I'm saying, they are looking for anarchy, ndio waseme kuwa we can't do election.
Yes.
That's what they are looking for. By creating that fear and creating that anger within the people, they are looking for a way to create anarchy. But let me tell you, this Kenyan kitu inafanyika through JGs, si hao wanafanya, is a spiritual war. Let me tell you, si hao watoto wanafanya, ni spirits zile zimekuwa zina cry since time immemorial. Mwafrika amekuwa analia slavery nini, hiyo yote, those spirits are rising through these kids. Ndio unapata saa nyingine inakaa nikaa wana focus, but the rage and confidence wanaenda nayo, hata anaambia polisi shoot me, nimefika on the wall.
Nasema kuna demonic spirit.
It's not demonic. What is a demon? The ancestral power, the ancestral spirit is not demonic, because it's the cry.
So they are not
which
demons.
Has been there.
They are not demons.
Demons yuko kanisani.
Huh?
Yeah, devils yuko kanisani. Devil worshipping inafanywa kwa kanisani, kwa misikiti na hizo ma temples wanaenda. That's where devil worshipping is done. On a serious note.
We are listening.
Because this guy did not come to bring peace in the world. He came to cause division. Luke 12:49-50 anasema kabisa, do not think that I have come to bring peace in the world. I did not come to bring peace but division. From now on, a family of 5 will be divided. 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. Fathers will be against their sons and sons against their fathers. Mothers will be against their daughters and daughters against their mothers. Mothers-in-law will be against their daughters-in-law and daughters-in-law against their mothers-in-law. A man's worst enemy will be the members of his own family.
That was a prophecy,
not a prophecy. That is what he did. And that is why today we are not united, my friend, at family level. The families are scattered. The only way you can conquer a people, infiltrate their families, split them, and that's how you conquer people. And that's how Africa is where it is, because we were broken from the family units. If your brother is a Muslim, you are a Christian, huyu mwingine ameenda Hindu, na hizo dini zote zinasimama juu Afrika iko ndani. Leo Afrika warudi kwa values zao. Christianity inakufa. The first muidhini Maka kwa Islam was Bilal, a black man. Ndiye alikuwa muidhini wa mwaka kwanza. Kwa nini si Muhammad mwenyewe alienda kuwa muidhini? Because unless they get the source, which is the black man, his spirituality is too strong, and that's why they had to kill it.
So you believe in black supremacy?
Woo! Not supremacy. Only peace will be attained in the world when the black man realizes himself. And these fingers can prove it, because this is a representation of the 5 races in the world. Huu ni Mwafrika, Mwarabu, Muhindi, Mchinese, Mzungu. Genetically speaking, all these, they can't give birth to a black man, because they are all albino mutations. But the black can give birth to all of them, genetically speaking. Na ndio unaona hii mkono, the 5 fingers, ukichukua hii kidole uweke ndani, upige ngumi, you'll feel the pain. Ndio hii mkono iwe na power, lazima hizi vidole hizo zikubali position yao na hii rudi juu, na ndio amani itapatikana duniani. So until the African realizes himself na ajue power yake, amani haitapatikana dunia hii. Bado kutaendelea kuwa na chaos.
It's only teaching according to who?
This is part of life. This is me. This is the universe. This body represents the universe. Because even the tree is within you. If you want to stretch your back, irudi sawa, go to the tree, lalia hiyo miti, balance yourself there. Utapata, ukifanya unainuka na kwenda na kurudi, utapata your back, ile ilikuwa inauma nini, ita relax, na hizo veins itarudi sawa. Why? Because the spine ina mishipa, and you see yourself attached to the roots of the tree. You are part of it. Ndio unasikia the spiritual self, ati Mungu yuko wapi? The level of God iko high, ambao ni the higher self, which is the spiritual self. Alafu his feet walk on the earth. So it is you are a God, but you've been made to forget.
Hiyo ni dini nyingine.
Si dini. Mimi nakwambia, kwa nini tunaenda kupigwa vita shuleni?
Introducing a new religion.
I'm not introducing a religion. No. I'm introducing you, you know yourself, realize who you are. And realize that I'm a human being, and the next person sitting to you is a human being. And that's why nilikwambia, unapata leo tunashika simu very busy. Hata umekaa na mtu hapa alikuwa amekuja kukuona uko busy. Why?
Kuja kuinterview na kwa simu.
Uko kwa simu. You can't put the phone aside even for a few minutes. Unapata tu unawashwa kuishika tena.
Even this Gen Z, instead of listening
Unaona?
to
So you find hiyo peke yake inakuonyesha the distraction which is happening in the world.
Yes.
People don't go to the inner self to search themselves. They always look for the outer. Nikani nitaangukia wapi? That's why unapata tumekuwa na society ya kuangukia syndrome. And that's why we have smart beggars without a shame as leaders. They don't see what is within themselves. So,
yeah, kuna kitu ulipo na Gen Z auliza swali.
What do you think Gen Z right now should do against the political class? Because right now it seems like it's Gen Z versus the political class. What do you think Gen Z should do so that they can conquer all this that is happening? Because clearly we need a good governance that is working. That's why you're in the streets, and I don't think the streets will solve anything. What do you think we should do going forward? Because we are still people are still being killed in police stations. Juicy, there's Juliana Njoki was being killed in a police station. So they're clearly not learning their lesson. What do you think Gen Z should do?
What the Gen Z should do, as we speak today, is they should talk among themselves. They should identify what do they need? The resolutions zile walikuwa wamekuja nazo mwanzoni, they should go back and recollect their footsteps. Recollect their footsteps, wakuja one, these were our agendas. How can we implement them? The Gen Z, what they can do to them, because there are many, wakuja wa identify leadership within themselves. Waache kulia tu wako leaderless, waache kulia hawana sijui nini. Waki-identify a leader ambaye ataweza kubeba all their demands, they support him fully, and they wage a campaign towards 2027 to bring this leader ule wame-identify as a leader among themselves, and they create a network in every constituency, every ward, every county, because they are the majority.
Yeah.
The minute they create that network, iweze kuwork na i-communicate within themselves, wanasema we know the leaders will select from the grassroots level. Na wakuwe na standing political ideology ile moja ni, if it is we are returning our resources back to our country to run our country and manage our own resources and cancel all multinational companies contracts in this country after elections in 2027, then they'll have a focus. We don't need to go to the streets. Let me tell you, the leadership, the politicians will be shaken, because this will be something growing at the grassroots level. Waende ku-educate the people in all languages. Wacha kusema ati Kikuyu. No, we come up with a structure ambayo ina re-educate watu. This is what we want, the Kenya we want, ambayo iko transparent. The leaders are accountable to the people. We don't want leaders who are funded by multinational companies to come and run. They give money around, alafu hao wazee wetu wakipewa wanawapatia kura kijinga. We don't want that. So if the Gen Zs are focused on bringing change in this country, they need to restructure. They don't need to go to the streets. Silence is the worst weapon you can use. Silence, but you have all the networks za kuweza communicate. Muna Twitter, muna IG, muna nini, you are communicating. So the minute that network is set, na muweze communicate among yourself, mnajua focus yetu, tunajua kuanzia MCA na nini, alafu immediately tunachukua, we abolish the constitution, we restructure constitution based on our own values.
But they need